the Ryder Cup. An amazing golfing event. That all gets underway over in the US a week on Friday. talkSPORT's golf correspondent Rupert Bell joins us live this lunchtime. And here's the interesting thing about this. At this particular point in time, Rupert, we understand that Europe's Ryder Cup players have been provided with VR headsets. Why is that? Well, it programs them with insults through the headsets in an attempt to be ready for the partisan New York crowd that they're going to come up against next week. Rory McIlroy has even revealed the lengths they're going to in an attempt to combat the vitriol. He says it's just to simulate the sights and sounds and the noise that we are going to endure. Is it really going to be that bad?
Not going to be quiet, that's for sure. How bad it is, well, only time will tell, but it's going to be lively. It's going to be intimidating. You know the American crowd will be hugely partisan. It's whether it crosses what is deemed the bounds of respectability. How far do they push it? And where do they go from being good-natured but really rooting for the American team, or then does it turn a little ugly with some of the things they may be saying at the European team? Not just the players, but maybe caddies, the support staff, you name it. So it does just reflect that Luke Donald does think outside the box in terms of trying to make sure his team are as well prepared as ever. The fact is they've gone 3 days now. They're in New York playing Bethpage. We saw pictures of them yesterday. They flew out on Sunday night to get a feel and then give the players a chance to sort of decompress for a few days, then enter the cauldron from Monday onwards. And it just reflects, I think, Luke Donald's attention to detail. But it's going to be lively through the, not just in the build-up, but during the 3 days
During
as
the
well.
3 days. I mean, virtual reality headset, Simon. Maybe I need a headset like that from the point of view sitting beside you every morning.
I don't know. I mean, look, we spoke about it last week with Rupert to ask how many members of the Ryder Cup played in the last Ryder Cup tournament. There's 7, not 1, 7 that played the last time.
Hang on.
I'm just saying, Rupert. I'm just
I didn't hear your question.
I'll get your ear trumpet out there. My case for the defence, my lad, was that I thought you were talking about Medina. I am aware.
We'll let you off, Rupert.
So my point in all that facetiousness that I was making at Rupert's expense there, and I'm sure he'll even screw up somewhere down the line, is that they know this environment. They know what's coming their way.
Yeah.
If they want to make the little gimmicky additions to their resolution to be able to overcome the adversity, the best way to overcome the adversity, play well. Quieten the crowd.
Exactly.
Quieten the crowd. Yeah. And there's plenty of robust golfers in that European selection to be able to overcome it. Difficult. It's going to be difficult. And I think it adds to the intrigue. I think it's fabulous. I think the more noise there is, I mean, there's nothing like quietening down a plaid-wearing, overweight New Yorker, is there?
Do you get more nervous the closer it gets, Rupert? Because the Americans feel they've only got to turn up and win this thing.
I think deep down they don't think they just can turn up and win this, because they look at the 12-man team that has been assembled by Luke Donald. There's only one change from the last Ryder Cup. It's a Højgaard for a Højgaard. They're all totally used, except for Rasmus Højgaard, for playing out in the States. Remember, Tommy Fleetwood just has come and won the big season-ending tournament. Rory McIlroy, with his achievements, they're used to it. But obviously, it's how they deal with the extra level of sort of antagonism towards them. That will be the mark of success. But Simon's absolutely right. If they get off to a fast start and actually quieten the crowd, and bearing in mind Donald Trump's going on the first day, so that will add an extra level of sort of patriotism, and it would be certainly good from a European perspective if in the morning foursomes they open up with a good lead, because that will give the Americans food for thought. And it's probably Donald Trump turning up on that day probably wants to feel that the Americans are on the road to success. But if they get off to a good start, then that might change the whole demeanour of not only Donald Trump's visit to the Ryder Cup, but the thousands of American fans who will be there
Rupert,
as well.
Before you leave us, I've got to mention it. For the first time, players are going to be paid to take part in the Ryder Cup. The Americans, they're getting $500,000 each. About £370,000 per man. $300,000 of that, though, goes to charity. The remainder can be spent any which way they see fit. Patrick Reed, who missed out on the US team, says, that can't be right. I would play for nothing. It shouldn't be about money. What do you think?
I agree with Patrick Reed. I don't always agree with Patrick Reed, but the 200,000, if that's what they've got left, they earn that in heart. They won't even know that amount of money's hitting their bank account. They are very, very rich young men. Why can't they just for 1 week put money aside? Yes, charity donations, but why do they need anything? So I'm absolutely in Patrick Reed's camp. The European team will play for nothing, but of course they get benefits. Their sponsorship, probably they have sponsorship deals linked to appearing in the Ryder Cup.
Sure.
They will come away with swelled bank balance, but they actually, for the actual paycheck for playing, no, but obviously they get huge benefits. So I think it's absolutely ridiculous that the Americans.
Go with Rupert on that, Simon?
Well, I don't know why it's been curated this way.
I wonder if Reed's saying it because he hasn't been picked.
Well, maybe he just.
Would you say it if he was picked?
Maybe. Well, I think he'd probably say the same thing because it's as Rupert says, if you're giving away 60% of the money, you're left with $200,000. With the greatest respect in the world, these guys pick that up quite regularly. Yeah. So I don't know why it's been created. There must be a methodology behind it. There must be something behind it that suggests that they needed it. I don't know. Is it some reaction to live? Is it something of that nature?
Well, actually, Patrick Cantley didn't. They feel that the PGA of America, who run the Ryder Cup, are making millions off it, and it is a huge. And they're saying, well, we want a little bit, but actually, 200,000. Why? Why bother? Because it's the idea the money goes back into the grassroots of the game. They're making so much money anyway. Obviously, Patrick Cantley got his knickers in a twist last time because he refused to wear the cap. He said they couldn't get one to fit. Pull the other one, Patrick. So I'm afraid I just think the Americans have got it wrong, and the Europeans will use it to their advantage.
Rupert, thank you very much indeed with it. And with that and the image of Patrick Cantley's knickers, we'll leave it.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.